Number 11, Mohamed Ferrari Jr. Number 14, Walter Nakasu. Number 16, Julio Diaz Carrero. Number 18, Sultan Yamise. Number 21, Usine Simango. And the substitutes for Mozambique. Number 1, Akasio Mwendani. Number 6, Abel Natumbo. Number 9, Gabriel Pino. Number 10, Gianlucia Lorenzoni. Number 13, Jose Valpavia. Number 15, Fernando Jose. Number 17, Jeremias Nambiri. Number 19, Edmundo Joa. Number 20, Miguel Changa. Number 22, Ananias Tembe. Number 23, Orlando Tembe. And the coach for Mozambique, Victor Martine. And now for Namibia. Number 16, Kamajainda Disiro. Number 3, Ka Kurwombe. Number 4, Simon Elago. Number 5, Charles Hambira, captain. Number 6, Moses Shidolo. Number 8, Romeo Kasume. Number 9, Museu Edwin. Number 11, Arastas Kulula. Number 18, Abrosius Petros. Number 20, Ivan Kamberipa. Number 22, Baggio Nashigwa. The substitutes for Namibia. Number 1, Branco Rugoro. Number 7, Lawrence Dozem. Number 10, Edmar Kamatuka. Number 13,
It is second semi-final, Mozambique against Namibia here at Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. And this is the game that will decide who meets Angola in the final. So Angola won the first final, and in fact the first semi-final in all of these two semi-finals. And now there's a big one. Will it be Mozambique or Namibia in the second semi-final? Joining me is Wilson Mutekede. Wilson, the first semi-final we saw, but Angola is waiting. Who do you think of the two teams coming up can match the strengths of each other?
Yeah, it's going to be a real contest, but I think Namibia looks like they have a pedigree to just get an edge over Mozambique, who are also very good. So it's going to be a close one.
Close one, and also looking at Mozambique is the side that is obviously hosting Namibia, and this is where we're seeing all those players that can make a difference.
Exactly. When you look at Mozambique, there is this young man, number 7, the captain Dario.
Yeah, Dario.
Very, very, very good player. Number 6, their maestro. He's not starting today, yes, but he's one player who has also stood his ground in central midfield, central defensive midfield, and we thought he was going to be there, but today he's not starting.
And they are a side that comes here with a lot of confidence from the days when we saw them at Isaac Wilson. They were just dancing to the tune. They seem to be really having a good time. It's a nice outing for the Mozambicans. But they are a side that cannot take Namibians for granted, because Namibia, it's a side that's got players that are really running around. And we saw them in the game against Seychelles.
Yes, yes. Namibia, very, very compact. They maintain their shape. And I think it's a team that they work for each other. When you see they distribute the workload that even. And they seem to have more coordinated approach in terms of the game.
Yeah, coordinated approach. And Moseu is the man that was leading the charges up front. And he scored a brace, could have scored 4 on the day. And the coaches shared their senses of what to expect with us. A tight one, a place in the final, Coach. What is the plan today? How tight do you want to keep your game? How open do you want to play your cards?
We are well prepared because we qualified in the semi-final. We have our plan, so we will not change our plan because it's our game model, our philosophy. So we will not give them a space. We know that Namibia is a very good team. They played very well. As you see, the best coach of the group stage is from Namibia. They've got 3 players in the starting 11 for the group stage. So we have only one, our captain. That's why it means that they've got a strong team. But we know that game by game we are developing. I think so it will be 50-50 this game. But so in our organization, especially in the fast transition, we're going to do something which can give us a result to qualify to final.
Just finally, there's a situation that almost unfolded. 2-0, and then suddenly 2-1, and then Angola's backs were against the wall. So how are you planning to avoid a possible scenario like that, where you don't end up with penalty shootout?
Okay, so we prepared the game for everything. We can draw. All the players we trained yesterday. Set pieces, it's very important in football. It's one of the moments of football. So that's why I think so if you go in penalty, as we trained, we are well prepared for that. I think so my players, they will give us a good result.
Coach, here you are, then an opportunity to be in the final against Angola.
Yeah.
You have opponents that also have the same wish.
Yes, and these opponents are basically on the same wavelength as we are. Technically very good, got good organization, and we've got a long history with them. It's always difficult against them, but I think this particular game, I think we need to find a good balance between attack and defense. You don't want to go behind, and from there the confidence should be able to grow. So we have to keep them in bay, but still hit. So that is the biggest task for us this evening.
As a coach, how do you manage the legs that are so going all out against Seychelles and then going on to win, and then say, guys, keep the same momentum?
It's somehow based on our model and our game philosophy. So if we don't do that, then we don't have a game. And I'm just thankful that the guys, the players know about it. And it's not something that's in their head right now. For them, it's this huge chance, and they want to give it their all to be able to represent their country, hopefully in the final.
Two times runners-up but never champions Mozambique play their 6th semi-final of the Hollywood-based COSAFA Cup against former champions Namibia at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium, with Angola awaiting the winner in Sunday's final. Hey, good evening it is to you. two times runners-up but never champions Mozambique play their sixth semi-final of the Hollywood Pets COSAFA Cup against former champions Namibia at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium, with Angola awaiting the winner in the final. A good day or good evening it is to you, with a few of the Namibian fans out to that far side. They are hoping to see their side go the distance once again up against the Mozambican side that, well, will also be looking to cap off what's been a good tournament thus far. For Namibia, qualified in Group C, did the men on the left of your picture as the best second place team, I should say, as it came down to the last day when they and Angola both snatched up 7 points, and, well, Namibia beating Seychelles impressively out at the Isaac Wolfson Stadium with a 3-1 scoreline. They now stand themselves a chance of getting to yet another final to the Namibians, whilst Mozambique were in Group A with the likes of South Africa, Eswatini and Botswana. They won just one match, did the Mozambicans in that group, drawing a couple of them, scoring just 4 goals in their 3 matches. They look to improve here, offensively, especially in the semi-finals, knowing that a good showing here against Namibia could very well see them playing Angola in the final. On what has been a cold day here in Gqeberha, the refereeing team leads out both these sides here, and well, starting 11s looking for a good showing here for the Mozambicans. 3 in their starting 11 have found the back of the net, whilst for the Namibians they also have 3 in the starting 11 that have found the back of the net. They've met on a good number of occasions in as far as the COSAFA Cup. These two sides, they will know a whole lot about each other, but for right now it's all about a place in Sunday's final. They're lined up now and we get ready for the national anthems.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Mozambique.
Pedra a pedra construindo um novo dia, milhões de braços, uma só força, ó pátria mãe, vamos vencer. Moçambique, nossa terra gloriosa, pedra a pedra construindo um novo dia, milhões de braços, uma só força.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Namibia.
This will be the 9th meet between Mozambique and Namibia. Namibia have won 5 and lost 2, just 2 to the Mozambicans here. So Mozambique will know the going's been tough in the past against this Namibian side, and it is the men in the red and black that will be looking for a bit of get back in the 90 minutes they hope that will follow. Now, for the Mozambicans then, they do have some danger men out in the attack. Chamito as well as Mohamed worth keeping an eye on. Dario as well in as far as goal scorers. Those are the 3 that have found the back of the net. They will also look to Usain to have a good showing protecting the back 4. And Armando, crucial between the sticks in what is your old school 4-4-2 formation, where they will look, well, hope that this look, of course, does unlock the Namibians. Well, here they are. And one could argue same colors as the side that's waiting the final, of course, in the away of Angola. But your referee in this match is Bushira Kabubi, assisted by Diana Chikotesha, as well as Fatiha Chemumi, and Mohammed Atsumani is your match commissioner, or 4th official, I mean to say, in this encounter. We already have had one incident where VAR was involved. That was in the earlier semi-final. It is an option once again here today, with your officials, of course, being from Mauritius as well as Angola in the way of VAR. There they are, Maria Rivette as well as Jocelyn Dos Santos. And of course, 3 ladies refs that are bound for the Paris Olympics. Also involved, and have been involved right through this tournament. As we look now at the Namibian lineup, Lago Petrus and Asume, crucial in the middle of the park, that they do dominate and also do create for the 3 out in the attack. Mozambique will, of course, on 3 goals here, looking to score 1 or more to catch up to Depu, the top goal scorer so far in this tournament. I mentioned the midfield, but up in the attacking areas, Mazreu, Shitolo, as well as Kulula, very much crucial to the Namibian ambitions here, where goals will very much be necessary.
In one of the side chats with this coach, this man here, Colin Benjamin, that's Muzoe's coach, he agreed that Muzoe could have just kept his composure. I wonder if you watched that game against Seychelles, and that's when he blasted, with 2 minutes remaining, blasted the ball over the bar when there was a gap where he could have just rolled the ball in the back of the net. But he was a handful on the night.
Well, they'll be hoping as a group, the men in white, to be a handful to the Mozambicans here. Mozambique is, of course, responsible for the host nation not making it out of the group stages. Namibia to attack the goal to the left of the picture. Angola attacking the right. There is Ushira Kabubi. In talking about things to look forward to, we mentioned World Cup qualifiers, we talked about AFCON qualifiers, Club World Cup. We never mentioned, however, the Olympic Games, Marks, in the last semi-final. So there's another big event to look forward to this year.
Yeah, and they are just round the corner. And these are the games that we also have the men's and women's football there. Unfortunately, South Africa, we don't send any representatives.
Well, not that we didn't send, we didn't qualify.
We didn't qualify.
We tried. We wanted to.
But we do have athletes that can also bring medals home.
Now, there's a big cap on the near side with good movements, looking for the positive early start. In the earlier semi-final, we saw a goal inside the opening 2 minutes, scored beautifully by the Angolans from a dead ball situation. Kiliano, the man who converted in. So, both sides will be looking for a start just as positive. Easier said than done, however, as the Mozambicans run out of space on that far side. Volta unable to keep it in play. Plays for Ferroviario de Beira. His 4th appearance of this tournament. He played 270 minutes so far, Volta wearing the 14 on his back. The last coming together between these sides back in 2022. Guess who found the back of the net? Oswell. So, man who's been there, done it before, and who's currently doing it for the Namibians from a goal scoring point of view, will hope to again be amongst those to bring pain to the Mozambicans here for the Namibians. They met again in 2021. That occasion it was Mozambique that won with a 1-0 scoreline. In 2019, it was the Namibians, Kamatoga and Limbondi, the scorers. And down here, unintentional, but I think it could have been an elbow, possibly a hand to the face then from Hambira.
Looks like it's right in his eyes. That's why he just stopped. As you can see, just wiping the eye off there. In fact, I'm just thinking those that were watching the earlier games and then had a nap, and suddenly they wake up and say, "These guys, are they still playing?" No, it's not. It's Mozambique this time, not Angola.
Yep. Back to a few years ago, out in Lesotho at the Region 5 games, Angola playing Mozambique at the 17 level. Even though they were wearing their second kits, I was having a hard time telling who's who. And at times I'd be tempted to call one the other. Now, put out running here on this near side. Arumba, interesting that he, in this match, is playing in the left back position. The man wearing the number 3 in your picture, bottom of your picture. Saw him during the World Cup qualifiers in June. He broke into the senior team operating as a midfielder. Started off this tournament operating as a midfielder. First time I see him operating in the left back position, the man who plays for the University of Namibia.
Would that be that game against Tunisia at Orlando?
Yes, yes it was.
I happen to be fortunate to be next to you and calling that game.
Yeah. Did well in the first half against the Tunisians, who adjusted but still ended with a 0-0 scoreline. As we look back at the foul here on Dario, well, the incident involving him. Remember, he was so impressive in the second half of that game against South Africa on the opening day, Dario, the captain. Now, bit of space here on this near side. Chance to push forward and find the right angle for the run being made, trying to break in behind the defense. Nicely done in getting the better of Bagarumba. So keep an eye on him. Here he is on the ball now. Lost his first duel here on this near side. Osama, the man who committed the foul, another who's played a big part in the Mozambican cause in this tournament. Osama playing every minute of this tournament thus far. This is his 4th appearance. Remember,
Cesar, did you hear that master stroke, Coach Motine, coach of Mozambique, how he just gently spoke of Colin Benjamin, coach of the tournament.
Yeah.
Very sort of a formidable man to work against. And, you know, he just realized that Benjamin is calm, he knows what he's doing, and Namibia is growing in leaps and bounds.
And so those were very kind words for a man who clearly has been studying all the coaches and has been most impressed with Namibia, which says a lot about how seriously he's taking the threat that faces he and his Mozambican side here this evening.
But I'm just laughing for a second there. Don't you think it's one of those lines from coaches? You know how Pizza used to do it? Is oh, it's a strong team. No, we're going to have a hard time, and then they beat them 5-0. You know, you try to get them into a false sense of confidence.
Yeah, well, I understand if you're saying that about the team to get them confident, but hardly ever the coach. He's not the one out there playing. Corner here on this near side. Good hard running. Petrus, the man who'd push forward here of Cape Town City. He's won the corner. Still frustrated that he couldn't get the early ball in, but it's interesting from a Namibian perspective. Initially there were just 3 in there. They've now sent a few more in there. A very respectable 6 awaiting this in-swinger. Well, they're having to work to try and get it clear here. Namibia staying on the up and up. Now must go into the near post area. Keeper had to come out and make himself good. Big then, Armando, as Namibia create the first chance of the game.
Armando knows very well that he should have scored, but the keeper did very well. That's how you just leave your goals and realize there's threat here. But then, that was a tiniest clearance of the line.
So involved here on this near side. Now, it was a far post, but again, Armando playing his part in ensuring he lessens the pressure of his teammates. Now, that's good distribution here. Look at the numbers forward here. Quickly for the Mozambicans. In the end, Namibia were very quick to get numbers back in recovery. It was a 3-on-2 situation for just a couple of seconds before the cavalry arrived.
Dilly-dallying was costly there. Went the wrong way. Back to a decision to come back in where the white shirts could have played the ball wide or just forged his way forward.
Yep, foul.
We worked with the ref last time out in Isaac Wolfson Stadium.
Yes.
Very strict ref.
More refereeing team, in fact, all-female refereeing team on the day out at the Isaac Wolfson Stadium.
What I remember of her is that moment where she just looked at the guys arguing and trying to plead their case and said, "Are you done?" Then she gave a yellow card. Never interrupted and interfered with them.
Allowed them to state their cases. Mozambique look to begin to find the rhythm here as we approach the opening 10. On this near side, they will be looking to advance forward, then battle on in the middle of the park. Well, it creates a clear-cut chance. Then Chikotesha. Zambia on this near side, holding the line well. Opening 10 minutes gone by. Namibia now will be looking for a chance to send the ball forward as far as they can. Last time they made the final was back in 2022, where they were runners-up, of course, the Namibians. That's what they're trying to achieve here today. Only last time they lost out to Zambia in the final. No, but towards that far side, so it's Mozambique again to try and push forward, getting no toy on that far side. Also, it's worth keeping in mind, Mafama Bunyani, this is a repeat of the 2015 final. Mozambique faced Namibia in the only win for Namibia in the Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup. Sultan. I think many people watching on here that would have looked at these four sides in the group stages. They found it hard to separate them in the way they went about impressing in the group stages. Slow starters were the Mozambicans against South Africa in the opening group, starting off with a 1-1 scoreline, then 0-0 against Eswatini. Struggled for goals early on. Turned it on against Botswana on the last day out at the Isaac Wilson Stadium, beating Botswana 3-1, while South Africa only beat Eswatini by a 0-0, which is how they qualified for the semi-final. Now, all in then, and could be a chance here, still on the edge of the box for the Mozambicans. Momentum amongst those that will be relying on some good service from the wide areas. Nothing yet created of substance from the Mozambicans. Namibia and their group went down to the wire against the Angolans, as did Mozambique and South Africa. Namibia on 7 points, best second place team, coming second to the Angolans. On a day when they swap places as the goals were scored at either end of the Beja. Angola here at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium, coming from behind then to finish top of the group. In their last encounter was Namibia, and it pretty much smooth sailing against Botswana, the 10 of Botswana. But closing down then, right from the front. Has to maybe pull the trigger at the top of the box, not taken. And in the end, they'll have to settle for the corner. Thought there was the chance to pull the trigger then for the Namibians. And in the end, Kasume chose to keep it moving. Good corner for the Namibians. All 10 outfield players are back defending here for the Mozambicans, so it will be here for Namibia. And the push forward a moment then was Lago. Now, top of the box, Lago looking for the 1-2. It was important that that defense read that situation and brought a halt to their play. Early ball then. Lovely defending. Well cushioned header back to Ndisiro. And he plays for African Stars. Has conceded a couple of goals in this tournament, Ndisiro. He also has been ever present for the Mozambicans between the sticks. Well, I spoke earlier of Rumbe operating in the middle of the park. He vacated the left back position for just a moment to pop up in the center circle then and pick up the foul. Back outside of your picture in the left back position now. In Namibia, doing a good job of competing and winning it back in the middle of the park here now, quickly trying to find the right runs. There's 3 runners then at the top of the box. A lot of ground covered by the 3. Good work to keep the alive within the near sides. Again, finding the going tough, trying to shake the defenders, but happy to get the corner. Here's Momenta. Well, options here with the run being made by Gulula. Plays for Blue Waters. Now, good goalkeeping from Amando once again. Testing it clear then. Well, it is a Namibian ball here. Coming from an offside position, that's why the flag went up here on this near side. Here they are now, knocking on the top of the box. Did that ball take a deflection? The answer is no. Had a situation where they had 4 advancing in on the box then. Chidodo should apologize. He had options. The Chula man. Options left, options right. Teammates a little bit disappointed that he didn't pick them out, having to turn and get the shot away.
The difference between leading and being in the same par with opposition is decision making earlier in the game, and we saw that an early goal made a difference, because even when opposition came back, it was just too little too late for Comoros.
Namibia happy with the throw-in. Again, looking to ask some questions, this time out on the far side is Mato. Here's a busybody. Here's the man wearing the number 9 jersey. Early on, he was popping up on the senior side. He's now moved over to the far. Well, not the tidiest of football from Namibia, but they are keeping Mozambique pinned back, looking much better now as they probe into the box. And well, was that one pass too many? Could they have pulled the trigger with Mozambique having so many back and protecting Amando's goal? The Senate running into trouble here on this near side. Oh, that's nicely done in the middle of the park, and they'll step over to lose a defender. Again, with a run being made, then looking for a hopeful shot from a long way out. Easy to block. So 20 minutes gone by here in the second semi-final. Challenges flying in here on this near side. A couple of men flew in. Gulula was one, Lago the other. Victim is okay. Now, that's the moment earlier where lost the defender then.
An idea of step over. It was just the ball was too far forward for him, so he couldn't take it any further because the defender had already moved out of the way. It's got to be done close knit,
yep.
Like the goal we saw, the second goal of Angola. Just quick feet past the keeper. You've got to be quick feet when you're in the middle of the ball.
Interesting you say that, because the man in question in Temple Also had one-on-ones where he tried to go over the keeper, wasn't successful. Very much successful today on the one-on-one. Kamberipa in your picture a few moments ago, of course, looking to organize defensively, man who plays alongside Hambira. Plays for Orapa FC, does Kamberipa. Meanwhile, the Mozambicans here. Good touch, forward protected at the far post. Good hard running here from Mozeu, looking to take Volta with him. In the end, Volta tracked him well then. Big question for Mozeu, can he score a couple of goals against the Mozambicans in successive matches? Now, again, good close it down here on the near sides. Namibia looking to deny Mozambique the time and space in midfield. Lago, the man who came in for the challenge at the expense of a throw-in. Now, Mozambique looking for a bit of space to operate in and get it behind that defense, and well, they had to get it right. The cooperation of Gambera and Okaberipa and Hambira. So far, very little separating these two sides if you are just joining us.
And also, if you are joining us and wondering why are they just so much hard at work, it's because Angola is lying await.
Two-one scoreline for Angola, and they win earlier on in the day. It was a thrilling ending with Comoros looking to take us into penalties late in that game, putting up a fight in the last 10 minutes or so. Set piece here to Namibia. Finally, happy with the wall is Armando. Petrus looking for the teammate towards the near posts. Again, another foul. Yeah, it's not been the most free-flowing of games here in the early exchanges.
He's a very smooth operator, Dario. Have you noticed that throughout the tournament, I've never seen him getting stuck into tackles. He's your neat kind of a player. Just want to play the ball.
From a creative scoring standpoint, is just about as important to the Namibians as let's say your maestro is to Angola, Georgia to Comoros. It's the big challenge for these two sides here so far. Finding clear-cut opportunities. Well, real battle on in the middle of the park in the end. It's Mozambique to win it and look to drive forward, and again so quick to get numbers back on the Namibians that the run came to a crashing stop. So, Namibia here with the Lago. The men arriving on that far post. Important that that cross wasn't allowed to arrive. Return, yeah, good pace to pace. But he really is quick. He's done well. Can he find the teammate? The answer's no.
That was a nice besting run and pulling it back. He was also unfortunate that it never landed on the hand of a diving defender. And imagine when it lands on the hand, and that hand was wide open. The referee was going to give it.
Well, talking referee, and giving it earlier semi-final with about 10 yellow cards, no reds. It's a much calmer start here as once again there's a situation of encouragement for the Mozambicans, but for a telling challenge.
That was a brilliant challenge. Coming from the side, going for the ball. That was neatly done. That's how you defend. Don't go for the man. Go for the ball.
Then having a word with the referees, Dario, outside of your picture. I think he wanted to see a card for this challenge.
Oh, the earlier one.
Yeah, earlier.
Yeah, because Hambira's tackle was clean. Reminded me of Lucas Radebe for a second there, captain with long legs and winning the ball like that.
Still, these guys battling. It must have been a mental tussle here where neither one really has the early momentum. In the end, Mozambique forced back to Armando. Nothing going with those long balls forwards. Now, sitting back here, the Mozambicans allowing the ball to advance to the halfway line. Takes the ball to this near side. Well, trying to probe and find an opening. Got a man now, ball in at 4 to try and find inside that box. And Mozambique doing just enough to survive the danger. Kadumbe. In the middle of the park pitches. Now, continues to be one of those games here with half an hour gone by where very little goal-mouth action has happened.
Very little indeed, Sizwe, because the guys have just been battling it out in the middle, not also using the width. They must have gone wide once or twice, but never ended up in the intended recipient. But still, there's just not that dominance that one is seeing. Kasume is trying to stretch the game, trying to make the whole Namibian team to play, but we haven't seen really. There were fireworks. We need them, it's cold.
Yep. If you are just joining us late, it's been the coldest day of the tournament thus far. Cold and wet early. Rain cleared up in the early part of the day. They really are having to work hard to try and just put together 2-3 passes. That's how tough it's been out there. 4. No tries yet creatively for the Angolans. Ambira. Kasumi. Karumbe. Does it down right from the front still. The Mozambique is able to try and play it out. Tobin. Up to this point, we haven't seen a yellow card shown just yet. It's Kanumbe who's flown in here on a Chamijo.
I see what the referees are judging for there. Karume didn't really went for the man, but just when he stretched his leg, it ended up between the opponent's legs and hurt him where it hurts. I want to leave it there. Caught him on the shin with the trailing foot too.
Well, the body language of those out there suggests he should be back up in the field soon. So, chances have been hard to come by here. It's Museo with the ball in, and best moments for this team in white. Then good goalkeeping here to shut down Shidolo's chance box.
Yeah, Shidolo there had an opportunity, and the keeper did very well to just leave his lines at the Samando and kept him at bay.
Now, in open play, things haven't gone according to plan for these two sides. Approaching the last 10. Again, in need of another quality ball here. The Namibians is met well defensively. Now the throw it will be.
That was well played too.
Well, they haven't made the best use of the dead ball situation they have had in the opposition half. Again, good strong work defensively here on this near side by Sultan. Still Namibia driving forward here. Now, chance here again for Mozambique to get it going forward quickly, and again, too much down on the ball, and Botswana were ready to pounce in no time. Played at a comfortable pace. Neither side really breaking the other down or causing serious discomfort. Something, of course, the coaches will look to address during the halftime break if things don't change between now and then. Now, this looks like a chance here. Definite chance! Wanted well to stay on his feet, but it looked as though he was brought down. Byline, and in the end, it's Nisero that has to concede the corner. Best moment yet for the Mozambicans.
That really was the best moment, and he was almost going down Sizwe. You can see how he recovered to just get back in action, and still force a save, that's Chamito.
Did well then to stay on his feet. He was so impressive with how honest he remained in that moment, in not trying to dupe the referee into a decision.
That's how it should be. When you know you're not touched, when you see the prize there, you just keep stumbling. You'll end up with that ball in the back of the net.
It would have been interesting to check whether he was in fact touched and decided the touch was not enough. The award for the most honest footballer will then go to Chamito.
Let's see if he wasn't touched at all. And if he was touched, to hang in there, it's another thing. Because even when he was touched, a lot who wouldn't be touched would just die. Because they know where they are.
Also, what was interesting is where he was touched. I felt it could have been just outside of the box. Approaching the last 5. Volta, or rather, Lago, it was, who has to wait defensively as Mozambique try and push forward. They've lost it now, the Mozambicans, and well, Namibia still struggling to really get it together around that final third, opposed these sides. Got there just in the nick of time. Did Andesiro. Love the effort put in here by Chamito.
He had to stay with him because then Chamito would have just become a nuisance to goalkeeper Andesiro.
Well, he had to make his mind up quickly then, Andesiro. Once he went, there was no coming back. And the defender who could have played the ball then heeded the call and prayed he got there in time.
Imagine Kambari just playing the ball to the keeper and the keeper is off his line to collect. You know, one of those harmless goals, just bubbling in an empty net.
Now, again, decision made, and it's a penalty, I believe. Yes. Surprised, or maybe even shocked, a few of the Mozambicans took a time. Did Bushra Kabubi. And, well, for Colin Benjamin, he side of a chance here to take the lead with 5 or so minutes before the end of the first half. I'm going to argue, or did he handle the ball then? Was there a penalty then? Took a time before making the decision.
Oh, he stood on his foot on a turn. So it wasn't a tackle. Having looked at it carefully, he stood on his foot, and that's the time when he realized that he messed up.
Well, Galula goes and catches at his toes to back up your claim then, Marks. You're not holding the shin or the knee, it's the toes that he's worried about. And, well, the coach or the referee here, Kabubi, with a big decision.
Bonner and Dario have never been impressed from that moment. But they were not even part of the action. They didn't see what the referee saw.
We had to look closely on the replay.
And never wanted to commit until we saw where he stepped on his foot. It's a definite penalty.
So, Amando with a big moment coming up. Panera chased out the box.
When the referee gives instruction, doesn't the keeper remind you of the Lesotho keeper Ndisiro, when Ndisiro said, when the Lesotho keeper kept on saying,
I know my job.
I know my job.
Conceded a penalty. In fact, Dario is having a hard time letting this go here. But conceded a penalty to Mwarani, the keeper of Lesotho, and when being reminded of the rules in penalty, kept just responding, I know my job.
But I'm glad that Coach Notsi ended up addressing that at the end of the in the post-match.
Now,
I just need to talk to them about one or two disciplines.
Depo on 4 goals. Muzo on 3. Would have come into this match very much aware. Goal scorers will be aware of such things. And looking to make up, or catch up maybe I should say.
Last time he took a back step all the way to the edge of the 18-yard box, and then he came and opened the foot, playing it on the left-hand side of the keeper, which is our right-hand side. Did they watch that game? Can he do, or will he do the same?
Oh, what a save! What a save by Armando! Gets down and gets a strong hand onto it.
Because he changed. Exactly what I was describing, Caesar. They watched him, must have said, this time he knows that we were watching, he might change. And he went the right side, Armando.
Well, it was a hard one for them to accept that decision, the Mozambicans. They respectfully pleaded their case, and in the end they'll feel justice is done.
They'll call it divine intervention.
Early ball forward, yeah. Namibia losing out on the chance to take the lead into the halftime break.
Caesar, there's one line that is very popular. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. He still had to do what he did last time.
You know, in this day and age, speaking to a lot of players, and especially professionally, we find out that they study penalty takers and know which is your preferred side. So at times maybe penalty takers want to keep you guessing that they expect you to go right. Let me try left this time.
They even go to an extent now during penalty kicks where they even have the names on the board. Yeah. You know the story.
Yeah. Ball protected well here. Carry out the early ball in. Very well dealt with defensively. Well, in a hurry now. Try and find the lead before the end of this first half. Dalton looking to go a bit more direct in search of Dario. Namibia with a nice little run by Mozo in the middle of the park. Nice take in receiving it initially, but good work. Dropping back then from the Mozambicans. Struggling here with the rhythm going forward. Dario now. Ilago. 3 defenders around him. One of them, the captain Dario, he's also got a problem with he's outnumbered as soon as he gets to the ball. Early ball forward then, and well, the defenders did a good job of both dealing with the movements of Ahmed. Oh, what a save, man. He got down so well here to his right. It's hit with power, so gets a strong hand onto it. Gets right. And pushes it to the right. And getting it clear of danger. Big play from Armando. Thanks for Costa del Sol. So, 3 minutes will be added on here. We've had a minute. That penalty. Biggest talking point of this first half, not just because there was a penalty missed late on, because there were so few chances created as well in this first half. Both sides really struggling at times and putting together 4 or 5 passes. Now on the near side is Alago. Paul then Salton here, operating in the right back position. Plays for Braca de Chuben. Keep in mind the finalists already in the tournament. The goalies will be watching on here, learning, plotting. Technical team of Angola, and we'll expect will all be around the coast in Pedro Gonçalves, the man from Portugal right now. Well, at times the Mozambicans and Namibians may not have been at their best in this tournament, but one thing they have been very good at is hard to break down, even when they're not at their best offensively, and that is the case once again here in this semi-finals. As for Mozambique, the big talking point will be the penalty saved by Armando when he denied Museu from scoring the 4th goal and joining the top goal scorers list late in that first half. Outside of that, they huffed and they puffed, both these sides, but really cancelled each other out and didn't find too much in the way of penetration. No closer we are to knowing now who will be back on Sunday to play against Angola in the final. You see that not having too much to worry about in that first 45 minutes. It's Mozambique no, Namibia no at half time. Well, numbers say it all then. Just a 1 goal attempt for Mozambique and 1 shot on target. Namibia not stretching their advantage in that regard by too much here. No yellow cards shown. Very clean game of football. They are competing, but still very little separating them in a game that's pretty much stuck in the middle of the park, and both sides struggling at finding rhythm, putting together 3, 4, 5 passes, but most importantly, getting those box entries and getting good looks at the goalkeeper. Even in ball possession stats, you can't say the advantage is too much in favor of Namibia. Very equal game of football this. We await the next 45 to know who will make the final.
Elroy, at that moment of the tournament, the second semi-final, overall impression from your sort of point of view of TSG?
Yeah, I think the 2 games that was played was very good. We had the first one with very tactical flexibility in that game. Now we see in the Namibia game, it's a bit both teams trying to find the momentum. So, you know, it's that of playing a high line, high press, everyone just want to get that win and sit back and protect that score.
Up to this far, we left with the third and fourth place and the final. Have you achieved your objectives as TSG?
Yeah, it's still, the job is not done yet. So we're still looking at players, obviously. I think the next task is putting a team together at the end of the tournament for the team of the tournament, and obviously still recording stats of what's happening in the games now.
Is there anything conspicuous or an eye-opener that you can share with us that happened in the tournament?
Yeah, nothing much. I think from our point of view, there wasn't a lot of injuries, which is actually a good thing. A lot of teams keeping clean sheets, meaning they're defending well. Not much goals scored, actually, as we've seen in the group stages. So let's see on Sunday, and then we can make a full conclusion.
Okay, thank you very much. And we'll see you on Sunday, the big one, the final and third and fourth place. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, Max.
Then I will be joined by the man that has always been with me and sharing these moments. That's Wilson Mutekede. And Wilson is the man that really has been our eyes and ears when it comes to the tactical things on the field. And Wilson, I'm sure one thing that you have seen with this first half is not much that you can write home about.
Yes, it has been a close contact. We saw a narrow block of both teams. Namibia pushing a high line, just close to our halfway line, and maybe more into the Mozambican half. Enjoyed a bit of exchanges, but Mozambique were repelling it and resorting to quick breaks, just rapid transitions.
Yeah, and then Namibia had that moment where we just thought, this could have been something different, but it's just been tight and tight. We were talking about the high and the low block, and this has just been how tight the game has been.
Yes. Namibia camping in that half, trying to push. That was a very close chance.
Yeah, Musou whipping it in.
Yes.
And what could have been done there?
I think he should have pushed a drawback rather than trying to put it in front of the defense. It could have been a drawback. There was a free player who could have just tapped it in.
And there was also a player in the middle.
In the middle,
yes.
Lurking,
and in that lurking moment, he could have been noticed.
Yeah.
But also came a moment that we thought this could be a decider.
Yes.
And take us through that penalty.
Yes.
Not the taking of it, the foul itself.
The foul of it. It looked like it was on the softer side, but there was contact. And now the good thing is we have VR with us, and I'm sure they confirmed that.
The reason I'm smiling is that we were also hesitant, not until we saw the slow-mo when Kulula was fouled. At the time I thought, no, he wasn't touched, but I realized that he stepped on his foot.
Yes, there was contact there exactly. There was contact in the box, and
referee got it right. She was brave to give it.
Very brave,
Yeah,
very brave, very brave.
But then the taking of it, Museu.
Yeah, but again, you look at that, the goalkeeper looks like he moved also slightly before the ball was taken. And yes, the front dive, but it looked like he stepped off the line before the penalty was taken. Let's see. No, he was right. The other foot was on the line. The other foot was on the line.
Yeah,
yes.
Because there is a VAR, so you can't get away with anything.
Perfect.
It's VAR and it's you and your team.
Yes, like we said, there's completely reduction of error of margin in terms of application there. So spot on.
Spot on, and as usual, thank you very much for your time, and I will be seeing you at the end of the match.
Thank you, Maf.
Thank you.
Right.
Well, that's half-time score. 0-0 to the two sides. Tight it was, and it will be a very exciting second half because someone needs to meet Angola.
45 minutes remaining in the second half here for both Mozambique and Namibia to find a bit of penetration and get things right in what has been a bit of a challenge for them so far in this tournament in the final third, and well, take their destiny into their own hands here in a game where there hasn't been a goal scored as yet, and very few goal scoring opportunities. In fact, the one to speak of in the first half, a penalty save from Armando late in the first half, then and in the end he denied Brazil impressively. That's the best moment of this match so far, that save from Armando. And for the men in your picture, losing out on a chance, that being Namibia, to take the lead into the half-time break. Other than that, they battled and scrapped in the middle of the park here, and very little separating these sides. They both can improve drastically in the way of the attacking play and the rhythm. So far, it's been a defender's game here, and these sides have cancelled each other out to a point where one save from the penalty spot is the major talking point from a first half, where the man in your picture came good in what had been a quiet half for the most part for him, the goalkeeper for Costa del Sol. Elago will make way here. Namibia bringing on Namib Richard. Mozambique themselves will be making a change. Interesting that both sides bring on players with the number 15 on their backs. Fernandinho, the man on for Mozambique. So, it is Mozambique to get the second half underway. They attack the goal to the left of your picture. The men in white go right. So far, very few chances, very little creativity and service for the frontline men. Interesting then, Fernandinho will come on here and operate in the middle of the park to maybe try and find that creativity here for this Mozambican side. Plays for Black Bulls in Mozambique. Only played 56 minutes over this tournament. In his 2 appearances, he's coming off the bench. This is his 3rd where he's coming off the bench. Will have the most minutes in a similar match at this tournament here in the second half. Mohamed plays for Al Daid. Also kept very quiet in that first half. Sultan. We also enjoyed just 1 appearance so far in this tournament. The man in the right back position, Mozambican coach here, Victor Martin, introducing a few players here to some serious game time. Thanks to Vasimbi in it. He's a second start. Sultan, Hussein, all of them enjoying their second starts only of the tournament. Changes have even been true from a goalkeeping point of view for Mozambique, where Armando saved the penalty in the first half. Only had the 2 previous matches in this tournament, so wasn't the man that started the tournament for the Mozambicans. He's taking that goalkeeping position later on in the group stages. So certainly he's trying to give everybody a run, the man in your picture a moment ago. Well, here's a chance. Just couldn't get over it with the header. In fact, 2 players going for the same ball then for the Mozambicans. From a Namibian point of view, their coach Colin Benjamin was making that change where Ben Richards came on. Also another player that was amongst the regulars but did enjoy 138 minutes of play in this tournament so far, coming into the semi-finals. Of course, if you weren't with us in the first half, the big decision from the match referee, Bushra Kabubi, was the penalty given to Mozambique. There have been those that doubted that decision at first, but in the end it was a spot-on decision. Now, put numbers in the box towards that far post. That's exactly where the ball goes, and so close in the end. 3 men were protecting the post to the right of the goalkeeper then. And so nice when you see a set piece work out as well as this. The men piling onto the far post. That's exactly where that cross ended up. Osama climbing up high, then just couldn't steer it towards goal, even if it was on target. Do very much suspect the 3 men backing up. The zero would have gotten it clear. Best we've seen from the Mozambicans. Nicely done. Dead ball situation then in and around that final third. With a pace on the far side. Chamito. Another set piece it will be for them. Well, trying to keep a close eye here on Chamito is Ivan Gambelina of Orapa FC, giving that set piece away. 3 in the wall here, organized by Desero. Well, they had a set piece some 4 or 5 minutes ago that would have been encouraging here for the Mozambicans. Again, big men forwards. Osama amongst those on the penalty spot outside of your picture right now. They look to spread out then as that ball is played in. So numbers here. All awaiting a good ball, and well, when you are struggling in open play, you really have to give yourself a chance with these dead balls, and it's all about just putting in the right spot and hoping everybody else plays their part. But for them to stand a chance of doing their jobs in the box, you have to put it there. Walter, the man that's overdone it.
Yeah, Walter there was nowhere near the bodies. Sometimes when you're not sure, when you can't pick a man, play it in those messes and see who wants it badly. It could be an opponent who wants it badly.
At the very least, make them work to get it clear and earn the right to get it clear. Now, Namibia. First 6 minutes here, we've At 1 or 2 moments. This moment belonging to the Mozambicans. Here they are winning it back in a good area after the mistake, and first touch showing too much. From Jamito again.
And Jamito's first touch straight into the opponent, who really wanted to get clear of the ball, and he made it easy for him.
2-on-2 situation.
Those are the ones where you come down and then you
Watch
don't
your-
release the
yeah.
ball early.
Watch
You
your
can
ball.
commit.
Header. Good communication from Adisiro to allow his teammates to allow it to run out for the goal kick. I was just making the point about Jamito. As we look at this header again, in that 2-on-2 situation, teammate gives. You have to give him a chance to make the run and find the opening or create the opening for you in his movement.
Also try to get closer to the opponent, not make it obvious that it's a 2-on-2, so you're going to just share the ball early. Sometimes you may not even need him because he might just help you take away the opponent.
That's exactly the point. Give him the chance to buy some time for him. On here in the second half, Richards operating out on that far side. Yet to really get a touch on the ball when Namibia is on the front foot to help create in the middle of the park. Find this situation funny. Whistle goes, but immediately gets up and kicks the ball into the opponent before he has a chance to go back to, at times, maybe try and get him in trouble. Good vision. Heavy touch. In fact, well watched by the defender. I should say, I should give credit to the defender then. Sultan. Richard going up against him for the first time since coming on and getting to find out the strength of the man. Getting bullied there on that far side.
Strength for strength, and Sultan won that one.
Will they go again? Well, he's taking the ball out on that far side, Sultan. Cena's called for the foul here. 10 minutes into the second. This time was a little naughty, then lashing out a bit then to the knees of Golula. Didn't get away with it, well spotted by the referee. Same as the penalty. Without a second look at that, some of us had missed it. Now, all into the box is a disappointing one again with numbers in there.
The previous one landed in the same spot in no man's land. This was the first penalty saved in the tournament so far, in my memory. Saved, not missed.
It comes to mind, yes. Have to check and be sure, but middle of the park, yeah. Dario trying to provide the option out of that far side. Again, he's really well watched. Very interested in watching that back four from Namibia. Very rarely do they break that back four line. The left and right backs hardly push forward, so it's hard for them to exploit the space behind them. Since I started talking about them, they've stayed as four in a straight line. Whether they move forward or backwards, it stays four. Even now, outside of your ball, it's just four. And when you look at the shape of this Mozambique side, it's now three at the back with one push forward on that far side. There's still four at the back right now.
marshaled by Kamberippa, who is just slightly behind them and telling them to stay push.
Now pushing forward a bit here on this near side. Actually, the cross segment numbers in there. Ooh, it was a 4-on-3 situation in that box. Very well done defensively by the Mozambicans. Decent ball as well.
Mozeo whipped in that one so well, and I just wanted to see his attitude after the penalty was saved. And it looks like he's still in the game. You know, sometimes you can be so despondent. Fortunately for him, though, Sizo, is that it happened just before halftime, so he had time for the coach to say, "These things happen."
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Didn't have time to let the form dip, and the half ended quickly. Again, strength telling for Sultan against the youngster Richard, then, who's just come on in the second half. Twice they've come together. Twice it's just been a nudge here physically. And the ball has been won back by the man wearing the number 18 jersey. Another foul here.
I'm not bad at sign language, but I've just picked up what the referee could have said there. Because he pointed at us, says you'll be joining them up there if you continue doing that.
Again, another sign of a frustrated side that's struggling to create chances is when they start to really take hopeful shots from a long way out. And was from Summerstrand, and still not far from the center circle. That
didn't we see that in the last 2-3 games in the past, where the guys are just desperate now because they've let it slip earlier or didn't take their chances?
Yeah, and now it's in the scramble for places towards the end of the group stages. Find yourself chasing a game and in need of goals. Even if you are winning a game, you need goals. On the last day, which was the case for the South Africans. Well, we'll remember this for what some may say all the wrong reasons. But for the telling stories here, where all the heavyweights were pretty much gone at the end of the group stage. No hosts, no defending champions, no entertaining Zimbabwe, who had just made a comeback. Kenya, who arrived and made a huge impact with the opener, setting the tone with that beating of Zambia. They themselves couldn't get out the group stages. Right in front of the referee. Yellow card then. Petrus, Cape Town City man, pleading his case. The shout to scream of agony, maybe a little bit worse than the incident was. I'm not saying it wasn't a foul, but you got the impression it was a heavy bit of contact. Again, he's so crucial in a game where in open play they just aren't getting it right. Oh, didn't hold on. A little surprised to see that maybe it popped through to him on the far side, and well, nobody at their very best just yet. Nisiro's handling should have been standard there.
Ambira confused his keeper there because he was also confused. He didn't know what was happening, who was coming. And he swung a hand there, he was lucky.
Yeah. It curled maybe and surprised him as it curled in towards the far post. And he was shouting away to his teammates.
Just last minute gasp when he just outstretched his hands to make sure that he pushes for the corner.
Last possible moment, Mox. Everybody back defending for Namibia, and in the end, but he had to be on the line then to deny Fernandinho, and for a moment it looked as though Jacinto was wrong-footed and it might creep into the back of the net.
Just as it was coming to him, I just felt, hit it. And he hit it. Eh?
Wow.
You know, there are those balls this way in this game where you just say, hit me. Bubbling nicely.
It's begging to be put away. Put a pressure here on Namibia over the last 3 or 4 minutes. Dario's doing a good job in making them have to get it clear. Decent balls into the box. But everybody back defending his side with 2 outside the box are favored for the second ball. Should the defenders get it first? Penalty check. VAR is currently hard at work. Keep in mind we did have a VAR moment in the first game. Right now, Maria Rivets as well as Jacinda Santos having a word with Busha Kabubi, and we've already had a penalty, keep in mind, in the first half. Armando had the save. Nervous moments these for the Namibians. Life moves on. It's all good. Check complete. Nice header defensively. Oh, now that's a near post. Dario again. Well, I will say this about Jacinto, he is very vocal. But still the best and most vocal. As I've been of Lesotho, he was the most entertaining. For those of us that could understand him, he really communicates, that guy. Even tell his teammates when they're going to chip them.
That was a funny moment, Sisu. Doesn't realize that we can all hear that.
Brazil and company losing out in the middle of the park. Pace now from Machamito, head up. Not too many options. He's buying time then for teammates to try and get into good positions. They're very well watched defensively, and in the end he was dealt with himself.
Sometimes when you break through like that, don't worry about teammates. They will have to worry about the ball. Just whip it in. Let them fly in. You know, sometimes a cross makes you accelerate your pace, because you don't know when it's going to be played. Once it's played, you just accelerate, and you could get at the end of it.
Thought he had won it back legally, Fernandinho. Shouts from the Mozambican bench as soon as Akulula went to ground and the whistle went. They didn't see nothing wrong. With a little shove from Fernandinho. Well, we know just what they want. We're 65 minutes gone by here at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. Goals. On the scoreline, goals just what they need. Tamito taken out then. And in the end, the decision goes against him as well. Had gone out of play. Now look at this challenge on Tamito. Namibia. And well, we look at the shots on target, they are just 5 so far in this match. Oh, Armando still with the best moment in the match. Late in the first half. Although low and hard, but that's quality. That good, strong hand onto it. A couple of players down then as the play continues. In fact, one of them is up. The other now gingerly getting back up onto his feet. Well, they did make their first final back in 1989, did Namibia, hoping to get there again. Interesting when you look up their records, usually when they've gotten to a semi-final, they've gone beyond the semi-final, Namibia. Not very many times, but runners up in 99, winners in 2015, and runners up in 2022. So, should they not win here against Mozambique, this will be their first semi-final loss.
If you ask me, Siswe, they're really not convincing up to the stage. They're not in charge, they're not composed. But who knows, one of them can put the ball in the back of the net anytime soon.
Ball to this near side, Muzo squares up against the defender, finds a bit of time and space for the ball in towards the near post. Namibia now trying to keep the Angolans on the back foot. Now, to work it out wide to Richards, goes for the early shots. Nowhere close. First time he's been able to drift in field to get away from his marker out on that far side, that being Sultan. 20 minutes remaining. But if he can continue to work his way, working in field to create scoring angles. Defense able to deal with the threat of Chamito. Now, Richard did well in to get the head of the opponent. Again, allowed to make much headway in trying to push forward. This time it's Fernandinho that deals with him. Just looking at the Namibian record in this tournament, where they did score against Angola and beat Lesotho with a 2-1 scoreline. Best showing from a goal scoring point of view was in the last match where they beat Seychelles 3-1. So it got better as the tournament went along for the Namibians, and well, they've come a bit unstuck here against the Mozambicans, who themselves are pretty well organized defensively. again continues to do a good job as a Sultan in his battle here against Richard on that left flank. Looking quiet here. Namibia with a man down. Mozambique will be making a change. Ahmed will be making way here. Coming on in his place is Maestro. Now, there are a couple of maestros in this tournament. Keep in mind, is the maestro that plays for Mozambique and is entering the game now, wearing the number 6 jersey. Maestro by nickname, keep in mind. Then there's the maestro that plays for Angola, who's very many people's favorite player, quite possibly of this tournament. Won, what, 3 Men of the Match awards? The beautiful thing about it, Marks, is that the 2 maestros can fight it out in the final for who's the top maestro of the COSAFA region.
Who's the real maestro?
Will the real maestro please stand up? At this point, we start to think penalties. But before that, we have to start off by pointing out 2 scores now may very well win a place in the final. It's never looked a game with too many goals in it. Fernandinho. Diaz. Living dangerously, but well, he got it done, showing some nice footwork. But I don't know too many coaches that would have enjoyed that moment if it was one of theirs doing what Ndisiro did then a moment ago. The man from African Stars, Max. All the others I saw you play, I never saw you show such nifty footwork, Maximo Pugnani. You were just about goals, Jay.
That was a nifty footwork. He's better than former players I know.
By the way, speaking of goals, I was in the pleasure of being in the company of some of your colleagues from years gone by, your counterparts, and all of them strikers. Teres Kosana, Shane McGregor, and Peter Musimani. Peter walks up to me and he looks at Shane. He says, "You know that man?" He points at Shane. Says, "Some of us used to score 14 goals a season. He scored 25, 30. He's a real striker, that one." Saying that about Shane McGregor, which I thought was a very nice comment. Nice compliment as well.
Yeah, the way players that were banging them in. I mean, you look at the late Thomas, who's fully Mutlongwane. You look at the gentleman called Michael Jackson, that was his nickname, from Durban Bushbucks, Calvin Peterson, and Mike Mangena.
Calvin Peterson, yeah.
And we had a lot of hitmen there. Even Noel Cousins. It was just always a good competition.
Coached the Tucks for some time, Neil Cousins. University of Pretoria. Yeah.
You only shot goals week in and week out. Less problem.
There's also Grant Johnson from Atlantic.
Not to my knowledge as one of those contestants in the package that I've offered.
Am I thinking the wrong name here? But yeah, under 16 remaining, and a bit of a problem here. And I don't think it's the first time he's looked to be struggling in this half here, so this doesn't come as a big surprise. So they may have to consider making the change here later on. Namibia. And the man who's struggling here is Shitodo of, well, I love this name, Eshoke Chula Chula.
Chula Chula. Oh.
No.
Lovely cross, lovely ball played into space.
That's
and
where I
that's the
think-
one that was cleared from the line by Bonera.
Bit of contact on the ankle as the hind leg swings through. And still has to take evasive action in avoiding the advertising boards. Duyema is the youngster coming on here for the Namibians. As well as Joseph. The striker plays for Blue Waters. Only had 37 minutes of this tournament played so far, so we'll certainly be looking to have a bit of an impact. Joseph, midfielder again, they're looking for a bit of creativity here. Born in 2003, Joseph also plays for Yeshoke Chula Chula. He's only had 24 minutes of play in this tournament. Well, they once again ensure the Namibians don't break them down, but don't hold on for too long themselves to Mozambique. Stuck in the middle of the park for the most part. This game is Chamito. Gets a bit physical then with Garumbe. Maestro yet to really put his foot on the ball here and try and shake things up as we look back at the battle between the number threes. The bigger man coming out tops again. Last 10 minutes. Last thing any of the defensive sides would like to do now is make an error that leads to a goal. Namibia looking to find a bit of momentum here going into this last 10, keep the opponents on the back foot. Decision against. Garumba then. Well, for the first time they've come together over the last 5 minutes. I think the call is for a handball then against Garumbe. Everybody back defending here for the Namibians. What's interesting is the number pushed forward here for Mozambique, including the line being held here quite high. Well, counter-attack won't quite work out here with Fernandinho winning it back. Frustrating. He's a teammate then with what looked an easy pass in the end, turning it into a bit of a hospital pass where it was a 50-50 ball. Namibia called here. To really have an effect on the game since coming on here. Lawrence Joseph. Maybe amongst those that may be beginning to think of having to take a penalty later on, that being Joseph, amongst those coming in off the bench.
Slowly with this game. Just closing each other down and not promising nothing at all. In fact, you and I should be discussing who will take the first penalty.
Well, it depends who wins the toss of the coin and then what the decision is in that regard. Then we must know whether it's a Namibian or Mozambican. Then we can get into the chat.
Always ideal that when you win the toss, you take first, putting opposition under pressure.
Thought about taking it quickly. Disilo just didn't have any options in the way of men on the halfway line and beyond. Everybody had dropped so far back defensively that it was taking them a while to push up the field in. So the option for the early ball had to be scrapped. Aroma. Richards. Here's the University of Namibia man out in that left back position again. Maestro. Usually around about this time, my colleague starts to formulate his questions for the post-match interviews. That being Max Papanyani as we look back at this foul here. Telling you now, Max, push those back for a while. You might be here for a penalty shootout still. In commentary.
That is something very possible, given how slowly these teams are building up and how tight they are closing each other. They seem to have been hell-bound to just tighten it up at the back, as is the case now, Sizwe.
Now, Namibia trying to get some numbers forward here and find the breakthrough. In the end, that pretty much typifies the day we've had, or the night we've had with these guys. They've lacked killer instinct up front.
But also, did you see how many red jerseys were already behind the ball?
In no time.
In no time. And then the man wide, in a white jersey, couldn't really even find a decent cross because of the pressure. But look at the white shirts that you were lamenting earlier, and even mentioning how tight they are at the back all the time.
Now, can they get a quality ball in here from Brazil? Closely watched. Again, the red jersey's back. Still finding the space here for the cross. 3 men in the far post, and Richard was down in the most unorthodox of ways, and we believe the last touch came of him. Maybe wrong. There he is. That's done in controlling it at the top of the box then, and surrounded by men in red shirts. Brazil. Oh, it's a good ball for a post. There's the chance. It's gone over. He was in trouble there, Namando. Couldn't handle it. Ran away from him, and presented itself to the opponent's header going just over.
Yeah, one of those that you just think it's an opportunity. And I don't know if he was aware where he was, because he lifted it instead of just, is that Bambira again? Where he just, I think it's him. No.
New man on the field is coming off the bench here, Joseph.
No, that's Joseph from the bench. He's just lifted it. Oh, that's not what the coach meant when he said lift the spirits when you get there. Lifted the ball.
Close to seeing it all fall apart at the end then, Armando. Now, urging one here is Colin Benjamin.
Mozambican coach was right about Colin Benjamin. It's awkward to play his team. He is such a strategist.
Unfortunately enough, you were there with me in the Orlando Stadium that did two of the games during the World Cup qualifiers, and when they had their moments going forward, yes, they looked good at times, but defensively they were really difficult to break down. And Tunisia struggled against them. Didn't look like themselves at all, Tunisia. They took Tunisia out of their game. Yes, they didn't score themselves, but they really put up a good showing against the Tunisian nation that played earlier in the year, you remember, in the AFCON.
I mean, to frustrate Tunisia and get a draw, it's a bonus.
They hardly created a scoring
especially
chance,
at a neutral venue. If it was in Namibia, we'd say, yeah, you can't celebrate a draw at home. But it was at a neutral venue. Namibia, in fact, Tunisia could have opened their legs and say, let's go and grab this one, because it's at the neutral venue. We're not fearing anything, no home crowd.
Actually taking on the move, yeah. Brazil looking to have an effect later on, and yeah, it's just that sort of day. Just when it looked as though he was up for skinning the defender and taking him on, that's running out of space.
Might be presumptuous to say it, but you know what could be the first thing that crosses Muzoi's mind when it gets to penalties? Where do I place the ball? Always a problem. He's got to pull a Ronaldo this time. Same situation. Positivity. Oh, there's 5 minutes remaining. Possibility of penalty kicks. Museu, just like Ronaldo, goalkeeper saved. Now the same man that saved becomes brave. Now you've got to show us how brave you are. He's got to be bigger than the keeper, or the keeper can say that wasn't a flash in the pan.
Well, it's a zoom we're looking forward to. Also looking to see the youngster in your picture for Namibia a moment ago, wearing the number 14 jersey, that being Ndeonyema. He's a striker. He's hardly gotten involved since coming on. There's precious little service, but I'm wondering, having come on, here he is right now, having come on late in the second half, if he's going to be one of the penalty takers.
Could be. Number 14, look out for that.
Dario losing out and then committing the foul. Protecting the ball well then was Nakasume. Hambira. Well played down the line here, and again, it's gone out for a throw-in before Muzo can keep it moving. Oh, that's a nice take. And they win it late here. Dario! Very well closed down then. And Dino to keep it alive. Namibia now looking to get onto the front foot and use the time that remains to try and find their breakthrough. Looking as though Armando is in no hurry. He looks as though he's looking forward to a penalty shootout if his body language is anything to go by. Eating away at the clock here. I don't know, the pressure of the world is going to be on him. And Disilo as the men that will be responsible for making the saves, but he looks as though he's looking forward to his time to shine. Ate away a good number of seconds. They're waiting someone to maybe close him down or put a bit of pressure on him. It didn't happen. In the end, he lost patience. Dario and company looking to release Maestro here on the move. Made a nice little run into a nice pocket of space, then just couldn't get onto the end of it as it ran away from him. Now, Zil. Maestro dropping back, denying his road across. Lost throw of the dice. Time. There's 5 minutes gone by here. Namibia now very much on the front foot of the numbers they've got in that box. Looking for a late winner of the Namibians, and in the ends, it's a semi-final that will be decided by a penalty shootout here. No separating Mozambique and Namibia. And well, try as they might here, they just couldn't break each other down. And a game with very few goal-scoring opportunities. These are two nations that have been stubborn defensively and cancelled each other out. And lacking that extra bit of creativity in the final third, having to, well, go to the spot to find out who will join the Angolas in the final. Already has been a penalty earlier on in the take with Armando denying Muzo from the penalty spot in the first 45 minutes. That's the best moment of this match so far. Mozambique, no. Namibia, no. Penalties will decide who goes through to the final. Well, a few of the players would already have been thinking about this moment. They'll be picking up their names here or their hands and offering themselves as penalty takers. Man who looked as though he really was looking forward to the penalty shootout is Armando in the last minute or so, the last couple of minutes. Seemed as though he was time wasting. The Mozambican keeper then not in a hurry to get the ball rolling. Having saved one already, his confidence will be nice and high. Changes were of course made late in the match by the coaches as well. So it'll be interesting to see whether those that have had limited game time so far in this tournament, but used up here in the semi-final, especially in the attacking areas, will be brave enough to step up and try and put the side one up. Mozambique, who, keep in mind, they've won just one match. They drew a couple in the group stages. Again, this ends in a draw. So ahead of the final, it is a area of concern for them to maybe try and get right. Finding the back of the net, the final third. Defensively, they have pretty much been a tough side to break down here. Same can be said for the Namibians. So, decisions to be made here for young men that will be looking to make names for themselves. Donyema is one of them. Cold day in Gqeberha, which has played a big part in the lack of numbers we've seen out in the stands. Extremely cold day, heavy winds. You won't feel the effects of the winds inside this venue. It's so well built to protect the beautiful game and keep it as beautiful as possible, no matter the weather or no matter the wind in the windy city. It's one of those, when you're indoors, you can hear the wind outside howling. Hasn't affected the quality of the games at all. These sides just couldn't break each other down in the 90 minutes. We had another very good semi-final earlier on in the day. The Angolans. Impressive. Now, captain stepping forward here.
We're playing this side. Okay. I give you to play. Who win? The first who win will play. Will kick. Okay? So you take this green, take this black. Okay? It's green. It's for you to kick first. Okay? And for you attack. You play this side. Okay? Bring your team.
So, English the preferred language then. Looks as though it was no problem for both captains, especially I say that for Dario, the Angolan captain. No, the scoreline, and while we wait for the penalty takers in this match. Maestro with the dreadlocks, center of your picture. Another that's coming off the bench late. Have to wonder whether he will step up. So they're ready. The Namibians have been ready for a while and waiting for their opponents.
So eyes are on the goalkeeper and Zeu, that is Amardo, the penalty saver. So that's the pressure of saying, is he going to take it? Is he going to let somebody ease the pressure and take it from there? Or how big is his heart? That's the biggest question.
So Museo will be looking to step up and rectify that situation. Has a score to settle with Armando, but first Ndisiro may very well be the first keeper here to have to make a save, and as the locals going through the rules of the game.
One foot on the line, not before, not inside, not outside. One leg at least. So if you encroach, even if you say we are, you can call me and we will talk. So be attention, we don't want encroachment. Okay? So it's like this. Okay? And even if we do there, we stay on the line.
Well, loud and clear, and even if I miss it, VAR are also checking for me. So encroaching is something the goalkeepers won't be getting away with.
Isn't it interesting that you and I were talking about Da Costa's saves, the 3 saves when Portugal was in action. And that's when we spoke about Da Costa.
Coming from behind the line.
From the line, because when you come from behind the line, you are safer than having one foot on the line.
Well, he came in as a sub. We wondered about the substitutes and how active they'd be in these penalties. Here's the first sub for Mozambique in the day, Fernandinho. Man who plays for Black Bulls, added to his 58 minutes in this tournament with some serious game time in that second half. Finds the back of the net with no problem, sending the goalkeeper the right way. Perfect start for Mozambique.
This is all for a place in the final against Angola. Good start. For now, Mozambique is 1 foot in, or 1 toe in. And after the 5th toe, then it's 1 foot in, because it's 5 kicks.
Now, Armando had a chance to get his confidence up in normal play in the first half, and, well, a replay of that moment when he denied Museu. He's the first up, and they've got a beef to settle the issue.
What will he change, Museu? Is he going to open the foot this time?
Well, that's perfect. Perfect. Left him rooted as Namibia make it 1-1.
That's how he scored last time, and that is the question that I was asking Sisu. Why did he change? Now he does what he does best, and he gets a goal.
Chose not to go either side and stand still in the middle this time in the guessing game.
He might have thought, he might even chip it. You know, those moments where the keeper thinks he might try to chip me.
Well, one of the Mozambicans. It's, well, Carello, who's denied by the 0. The ball stopped by the 0. And for Mozambique, yeah, they look back at that and say that's had room for improvement, that penalty.
Give credit to Ndisiro. However, that was badly taken. Straight, no laces, side foot, straight to the keeper. If you want to hit it that way, hit it roof height and hit it hard.
Well, we have a situation here where I believe it's Ambira having to fetch the ball on that far side to bring it back into the box to take the penalty. And Namibia looking to take advantage of the good work Ndisiro had done with the last penalty. So, an experienced campaigner, a leader in the side now.
That's when the captain has to lead. The team has showed you how. You've got to do it.
Up against Armando. Well, he's chosen the side and is well beaten, Armando. That's a quality penalty. Easy as you like, it makes it look so easy.
Well taken. Look at the height.
Roof of the net. Roof of the net.
The height I always talk about, Sisu. Give it some loft. Keeper will definitely go down.
Didn't look pressured at all from the moment when he needed to go fetch that ball on the far side and advancing, and he looked like he had the situation under control. Dario now. Ndisiro looking to further frustrate Mozambique. Under a bit of pressure, Dario has to score this. Ah, denied by Ndisiro. Big advantage, Namibia. Big advantage.
2 goals advantage. Dario, captain, not that fantastic. Couldn't emulate his counterpart on the Namibia side.
Well, for the advantage to kick in, Ndisiro's teammates need to do the business here as we look back at the frustration for the captain, but they convert this, then Ndisiro's hard work will be paid off. They'll then convert the advantage, and there'll be all sorts of pressure on Mozambique. Has to try and save this now, Armando. The pressure on Dario will now be transferred onto him.
By the way, just looked at Dario. The reason why he didn't take that one well, he put the ball there and then he looked down. He looked down throughout. He never looked at the keeper. Maybe not to give it away, but still he paid the price. Meaning he wasn't comfortable at all. Lift your head, know where you do or what you're doing. As is the case now.
Asume against Amando. Papa standoff this. Oh. Easy as you like.
Stood firm, kept his balance, looked up, and knew what he wanted to do, and he did it.
As them celebrating back home, including the few that are out here in the stands at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. That's twice now Amando's remained rooted. I think there was a point when he was wasting time looking as though he's looking forward to the penalty shootout, Amando. Maestro, we wondered if you'd take a penalty. Holy steps. The zero will be appearing larger than life now with his heroic so far. Oh, that's bottom corner, that's well taken. Keeper had guessed right, but there was no denying, Maestro.
Almost got it, but didn't you hear everyone in the stadium went, ooh. They know that he almost got there.
Oh, got a touch,
got a hand to it. Got a hand to it. Wow. Almost saved all three back to back.
Namibia, well, you know what they need to do, Marks. Petrus scores, and well, we all know who Angola will be facing. Looks Armando dead in the eyes and maintains and holds that look. Petrus! Easy does it as Namibia march on through to the final. All of a confidence from the penalty spot. 100% record for Namibia. Whilst the hero will be the zero for the two saves here. Seeing Colin Benjamin's men advance on through here in the semi-final, Marks.
He deserves it. He has had a good tournament, and the tournament is not over. He still has to play in the final. But he knew that if he doesn't score, he just has to make sure that Mozambique doesn't score either.
Oh, there's heartbreak for the Mozambicans after they couldn't break each other down in 90 minutes. It was always going to be heartbreak for one or the other from the penalty spot. They kept their cool to the Namibians. They really did. Whether from the spots or, in this year's case, from the line. They did their jobs and did them to the best of their ability. Mozambique stumbled, and it's Namibia and Angola that will be the last two standing. This year very much the hero, but let's be honest, those that took penalties themselves did a very good job here for the Namibians. Mozambique played their part in the Group A. The Namibian story, who finished as the best runners-up. Well, that story continues. Best second-place team is now one of two remaining. And the match this year, the African Stars win. Bota and his new friends from Namibia maybe off to go celebrate. Not since 2015 but they lifted the Hollywood Best COSAFA Cup trophy. Close to reliving the memories of Coach Manetti and his celebrations, only this time it will be Colin Benjamin and company if they get the job done on Sunday. Big day coming up on Sunday. Rest day tomorrow, which they'll look to use up wisely. But for now, they'll celebrate with the few that have turned out in their favor on that far side. Wasn't always pretty, but effective. And for those that have showed faith here at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium, including out at the Isaac Wolfson Stadium, all that faith They've shown those three supporters colourful they are, as I paid off here over the last week and a half as they've travelled to and from following the beloved Namibian side. Well, Kamberira and Ambira were always tough in defense here. Well, things didn't necessarily work out offensively for them in the 90 minutes. They kept their shape. They were stubborn to break down, as were Mozambique. So they had to go down the penalties. And Namibia earning their spot in the final against Angola with a 4-2 win in the penalty shootout. Well, again, very little separating these sides. You'll see the goal attempts and shots on target, clear-cut chances with a very minimum here today, with the Namibians picking up a couple of bookings, and in the end it was always going to go down to penalties. This game with very little separating these sides. They really couldn't but cancel each other out for the most part. And in the penalty shootout, then is the Namibians that were absolutely ruthless. Desiro, from the goalkeeping point of view, then standing out, and I have to say, those that took the penalties were also at their very best. Down to marks with our man of the match.
And to present the man of the match to the goalkeeper and Desiro is Mr. Yawa. Please do the honors for us. That's fine. I'll take care of that. Thank you. At least you are not dropping them. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Looking at the game, forget the penalties, we'll come to that. Looking at the game, the pressure was too much today. And you must have felt keeping it a draw, it can still be anybody's game.
Yeah, for sure. Coming into this game, we analyzed them. We know what we can do, and we know what they can do. So it's all about keeping a cool head. We just kept on the organization, which helped us a lot, and from there, yeah, we took it to the penalties.
You took it to the penalties, cool head you kept, and those 3 penalties, and the unfortunate one. Tell us what was going through your mind. Cool head again?
Yeah, cool head. I would like to say thank you to the Almighty. Gave me the power, the strength, and the belief. And without Him, I couldn't. So He gave me strength and kept on going.
Before I speak to your coach, just from your players' perspective, big one, Angola, final, big day, all the hard work. You've got to now be rewarded for it. What's your take?
As you said, hard work pays off. We worked hard for this. We have been training hard. We've been together for a couple of maybe 2 months now that we've been training. Being in the final of the COSAFA Cup, it's a reward. As you said, hard work pays off. So we are grateful for the opportunity. We are playing the final of the COSAFA, and I would like to thank my coach and my technical staff, my players, all of them. They did a great job throughout the tournament.
Well done and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm joined by the Mozambican coach, and this is the man that really held a lot of praises. Coach, you obviously showed a lot of respect to your counterpart, and he went on to beat you. The game itself, it was tight.
Oh, of course, it was tight. Both teams well organized in defensive, offensive situation. So no one had a space to play, to keep possession. You know, my boys were trying to keep possession, so Namibia they didn't give us space. Second half, we changed. We made the one sub, and then so we started to press them, so we didn't score. But so let me say congratulations, Namibia. They deserve to win. But let's prepare the boss for the future.
And you're talking about the future. That future is the immediate one on the 3rd and 4th place on Sunday. You still have to go out there and play for pride.
Of course, we'll do that. So first what we're going to do is to recovering the players. Then we have to make some change in our squad, because it was tough this game. So I think we're going to work for that. We'll continue, focus in order to get a third position.
Just a final question before I speak to Coach Benjamin. The whole achievement of going out there and say, I'll give everyone a run to see where we are as Mozambican national team. Have you achieved that, looking ahead to that statement that you mentioned, that you'll give everyone a run, looking ahead to the weekend and say, I must give everyone a run?
Okay, so I think so. We're so happy we achieved our objective, our aims for this tournament, because COSAFA give opportunity for the young players to developing football in our region. I'm so happy for all the boys, because only one goalkeeper didn't play, but all my players, they played. So that's why I will give him opportunity on Sunday, because he came here to play football. I'm so happy. Next year, we'll come strong.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Okay.
And I will be joined by the winning coach. That's Mr. Colin Benjamin. Coach, congratulations. You in the final against Angola.
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Let's talk about today's game. Tight, your defense. Maybe I could read it wrong. It was so solid, tight, never sort of left each other stranded.
You know, that actually is some of the points that we take from this, that it's tournament football. We made it a point that we're going to defend with a good behavior, with a good aggression, with a good organization and a good conviction. And I'm just thankful that what we do on the training pitch, that the boys could actually put it out in the game. And we all know that the strikers, they win you these titles or the games, but the big ones is by a good organized, structured defense.
You're speaking of strikers, and then I smile because my passion is there. Museu, why did he change his mind on the penalty?
But
he scored the similar situation with the Seychelles, and then he goes to penalties, and he opens the foot, and it's in the back of the net.
Exactly why we came to this tournament. So he knows that this is my strength. This is what I'm going to keep on doing. I'm going to do it to perfection, and then that's that. But changing it, that's experience. So from now on, he's gained experience. Thank you, COSAFA. He's won an experience, and he's going to do it differently next time, the way he knows it.
In closing, Coach, you've seen your opponent. You might have not seen them all the way, but it's a final that we know Angolans are bully up front, and you've got a good defense.
Yeah, Angola, Palancas Negras. We had them in the group phases. That's our opponents, the first game opponents, so we know exactly how they play. I think they also know exactly how we play. I'm of the opinion that it's going to be a game of on equal footing. It's going to be the one that's going to make the mistakes, that's going to lose it. But for me and for my players right now, I think we just have to enjoy this moment. It was a lot of hard work, sacrifice. You have 3-4 muscle injuries now. It basically means that these boys gave their all. So I think we just have to give them a chance to just enjoy this tonight. Probably also tomorrow, and on Sunday we see how we're going to clean up to take on the Angolans.
Coach, just amplifying instructions. That should have been the last question. But very briefly, this is the third time you're meeting the same opponent this season, this year.
It's beautiful, isn't it? That's football. Football is this game of unpredictability. We don't know what's going to happen on Sunday, so I think everybody should just look forward to that, looking forward to that.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Bye.
Well, you have heard from both coaches, and the coach that is beaming with a smile is Colin Benjamin, because Namibia is through to the final to meet Angola. And that is the side that is very, very lethal. But knowing Namibia, they can always face any opponent. But I'm not alone. I'm again joined by my colleague, Wilson. Wilson, wrap up for me.
Yeah, good game. Namibia got 2 good chances in the game, a missed penalty and one that could have been headed in. It went to shootout, and the lottery, Namibia prevailed.
Namibia prevailed indeed, and we went to penalties. So that's it from all of us. Look out for that final on Sunday. That's Angola up against Namibia. That game is at 3 o'clock right here.